walk. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goals regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Plan is passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's a scene, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental, how clean is a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track, we the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace, everyone. I am Universe Badger. We have Moon Tortoise.
Moon Tortoise noises. Hi, everybody.
We have Wiccid Lo.
Salute. Peace.
We have DDH, the bubble. We have Chrissy, Miss Farley, Queen Goddess.
No way. What's up, Chrissy?
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
And then we have Gills.
How's everybody doing?
Oh,
Hi.
Hello. It's been a while.
I know. It's good to hear your voice.
Yours too.
Thank
you. I'm gonna start this off saying welcome to the People's Podcast. We are the ears that will listen, where your opinion matters. Today's guest is someone who has walked through darkness, fought for his life, and turned his pain into purpose. At just 8 years old, flatlined from meningitis and a cyst on his brain, yet came back fighting. The streets tried to claim him, depression weighed heavy, and the darkness felt like a friend he couldn't let go of. But through it all, music became his outlet, from rapping at 6 years old to transforming from horrorcore into the storytelling. His journey is one of resilience, healing, and transformation. His mission now is bigger than himself, to show the world that both darkness and light exist within us, and that we rise higher through vibrations and frequencies. This is the story and truth of Wiccid Lo. And before we dive into this, I'd like to take a quick word for our sponsor, Shimmerwood Beverages. If you're looking for a refreshing way to relax, try their Maine made broad spectrum CBD seltzers. Right now, you can get 30% off with our exclusive link at shimmerwood.com. Discount the people. That's shimmerwood.com/discount/the people. Now let's get into the conversation. Wiccid Lo. Nice to meet you. So introduce yourself to those that don't know.
What's up, everybody? My name is Wiccid Lo, CEO 210 to the NT. Just doing my thing, man. Big deal with introduction.
So at 8 years old, you flatlined and came back. How do you remember that moment, and how did it change the way you saw life afterwards?
I remember that moment. It's some of it scattered due to the brain surgery, and it's always been that way. But from that moment, I remember how can I say this? So I remember being sick. I remember having the chills and everything. People describe certain events that took place was I was in purgatory because of what I described. My father and my mother were separate at the time, so my pops was working 2 jobs, and he had me in the bed, whatever, kind of covered up, but I was still cold. But I was hearing a lot of screams and a whole bunch of voices, and it was only me and my 2 brothers in the apartment in Amityville. So the next morning, sometime that night or next night or something like that. That's why I say it's kind of scattered. My mother came over. They was trying to feed me like Burger King or something like that, and I couldn't taste nothing. And then the next day, sometime the next day or whatever, that's when they came and took me. And after that, I just remember seeing nothing but darkness and like a deep, like a far light at the end of a tunnel, which would have seemed like.
Now you said Amityville, like Amityville horror.
Amityville, Long Island. Yep. We lived like about 30, 35, 40 minutes away from the house. Amityville, Long Island, New York.
Do you go to it or you stay the heck away from it?
We went to it. We kids, you know what I'm saying?
I went too.
Yeah.
How the hell couldn't you?
Can't help it, like that was the thing back then, in the 80s,
Of course.
That's crazy. So you got into I'm gonna skip around for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So man, no, I'm just gonna stay in order. I apologize. So growing up with the streets becoming like your second home, how did you balance survival with holding on to hope?
To be honest, I didn't see when you're growing up, you don't really look at things as like you're holding on or survival or anything like that. You just living. You don't really look at it as I gotta survive, I gotta do this. You just going off of the day to day, what's gonna happen today, you never know what's gonna happen. So that's just pretty much how life was. I didn't really look at anything as holding on to anything or hope or anything. You just go throughout the day to day and do what you gotta do.
So would you learn about strength and resilience such as at a young age that you still hold on to today?
You said strange resilience?
Strength and resilience.
Oh, strength and resilience that I hold on today?
Yeah.
I give a lot of that to the ones who raised me because that's how I learned it, I didn't really think, the sad thing is sometimes you don't think of too many things until you lose those people. And that's I'm no different, you know what I mean? I get that to my grandfather, God rest, my grandmother, God rest, my father, my mother, God rest, and all the people that was before them that helped in my upbringing. That
So
was,
I only
huh?
I only I only mentioned your son in the description, and you have 6 babies.
Yes, man. Six and one
So,
grandson.
oh, oh my goodness. So, becoming a father, it shifted you and it changed everything. What was the biggest lesson that your son and your daughters have taught you about your life and yourself?
Mm. Life is precious. Yeah, it's worth living.
How
But
did being a parent help you walk straighter?
yeah, yeah.
How?
I
How?
mean, it goes, huh?
How?
How? Like how did how? I would say this. I was going through some things when my oldest son was born, and I'm just gonna call it as a really, really close call. Uh, and if it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't actually not probably I wouldn't be here. So with that being said, um, it taught me a lot, man. Like having a son taught me having my first son taught me patience at a very young age. When I had none, I'm at 18. Um, it taught me a lot. I had to move differently because at the end of the day, I didn't want my son to be a fatherless child. It was my first son. I didn't think I was gonna let her have a son, but it happened, and all praise is due. I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? So having kids is really it put me in a different mind state of being the protector for them. The caregiver, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? It's
So
put me in a whole
depression.
different mind state.
So depression hit you hard, and you talk about it in a lot of your music. What was the hardest part of learning how to live all over again?
Mm, to live all over again, that's not really to me. That wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was getting through every single day. Now, with the mindset I had at the time. You know what I mean? I could see the beauty in the world. I could see all the beauties in the world, but at the same time, feel like I still don't want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Um, and that was the everyday thing since my surgery, and it was bad. So the hardest thing to me, I think, was getting through every single day, dealing with what I was dealing with.
Yeah. You're not alone when
Mhm.
it comes to that. Moon tortoise, you deal with depression too. So what was the hardest part of learning how to live all over again when you're in a depressed state?
No, you're talking to me.
Oh,
Yes.
Um, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. I know a lot right now, and just being proud of what you accomplish. Just being proud of what you're doing, and feeling like if it's not enough, but you feel like you're doing too much, you're probably doing your best. And we gotta give ourselves grace to that period of time. That's something I've learned in the last like 3 weeks really well.
Gills, depression hit hard. What was the hardest part of learning how to live all over again?
You know, I don't think that I ever really had like true depression that I didn't see a way out of until more recently in my life. Um and what I hold on to is that there's gotta be something better tomorrow, and there's gotta be a way to reconcile the things that need to be reconciled, and um hopefully find a way to help pull others up at the same time.
Christy, when depression hits hard, and I love that, Gills. When depression hits hard, what is the hardest part of learning how to live all over again?
Is to learn how to live for you. When we always throw that word around about self love and self care, and yet we find ourselves at a point of wit's end, then we're not giving ourselves enough. And we can't be about society and a lot of the rules of social engagement and having to be on camera and doing this, that, we have to just step back and be able to get into ourselves and tap into our spiritual self as well, and be able to get more aligned and knowing that it's for you, not because you have kids or a husband, wife, whatever it is. You have to do it for you.
And I'll answer the same question, and I agree completely. I was talking to someone today, and I told them, I said, you have to become selfish. And I don't mean fuck this world. I mean love you beyond this world. Because if not, you're going to be fucked in this world. And I mean that as literal as it can get, as dry as it can get, and as real and raw as it can get. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take time for you, you wouldn't have time for any of those titles as a father, a wife, a mother, whatever your title may be, a brother, a son, whatever the title might be. Sometimes we have to be very selfish to learn to love ourselves through the darkness, or we're going to allow the darkness to love us more. And it's not easy to get out of it. So, Wiccid Lo, you started off rapping at 6. Even before the brain surgery. What made music such a natural outlet for you?
Honestly, again, I give that I give it to my family, because from what I understand, on my mother's side, I know we have a relative that created or helped created the Belizean anthem. My father was a singer. He was in a band called Hitchcock Funk. They had many different names. My mother sang. She did poetry. All the women in my family sing. So um, whether this just for play karaoke, but I've heard them and I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? So um, that's pretty. It just happened. My brothers too. Everybody. My brothers rap, or they used to. That's pretty much how it happened. I'm gonna say, like, it was around 6. I'm gonna say it's like, that's what I told you about earlier. Be, due to the brain surgery, certain things is like anything prior to 8 years old is scattered memory. Like, I can't tell which one. I couldn't tell you which one came first. So it's like, I know I was rapping. I'm gonna say I give it 6, between 6, 7. But yeah, that's what made it. I think that's what it was. The more
So
I think about it now.
I can receive that. So I'm going to ask everybody the same question because everybody's an artist on here. So Moon Tortoise, starting rapping at a young age, or not rapping, just music. I apologize. Music at a young age. What made music such a natural outlet for you?
Well, okay, I am not mute. This is pretty cool, but everybody in my family was singers. You're not going to believe this, Wiccid Lo. My parents were both, they met, I think, in a symphony, or singing in the opera symphony. And I don't know, my earliest memories were they were like playing classical music into my belly, or in my mom's belly, so I could hear it. So I knew Bach and Beethoven before I even entered the world, which is pretty cool. I guess they're kind of like vestigial parents to me. I don't know. But I was sprung into my house, and my dad built harpsichords, and then I started building harpsichords and early music instruments with him. And I don't know, music just, it felt right. It felt like a part of my body, and it still does. It's literally there when everything else fails.
Gills, what made music such a natural outlet for you?
Well, I grew up around music too, and I was really heavily influenced. I had older siblings that were much older than me, so I was both of my parents played classical music and took me out to see the symphony often. Um, I had like classic rock and funk bands and blues from my brother, and I had, ironically, because she's as yuppie as it gets, but I had a punk from my sister, and as well as like new wave and stuff like that. And I always loved performing. I always loved dancing and singing. I started dancing when I was pretty young, and so that's sort of how I enjoyed music then. And when I had kids, I played classical music for them. I heard that it was really good for brain development and all sorts of stuff, and so I would play classical music into my belly and sing a lot. And I'd sing to my kids every night, and mostly that's where my singing went. And then at one point I started singing in a church, even though I don't go now, and whatever, we're not going to talk about religion. But they gave me a microphone, and I couldn't believe it, and I loved it. um at one point, um after one of my children was born, I went through what I didn't know was postpartum depression, but I knew it because I couldn't sing. And I was invited to join a church band, and I started being able to sing again, and it brought me out of that depression. And that's the kid I used to make songs with all the time too. We would make up songs together. And then more recently, in my last relationship, he was a musician, and played really well and sang really well, and I would sing with him. But then then I was handed an instrument and tools to play it, and I was kind of shy with it, and I've been sort of in my own space for a while, and noticed that I am picking it up every chance that I get now. It's I'm writing music more now, and I think sort of being in my own space with music, you always sing your kids lullabies. It's kind of like singing yourself your own lullabies. And yeah, no, music has always been a big part of my life, and now I'm sort of taking more ownership of it, which is kind of cool.
So, Christy, the same question.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
When did music become so natural for you as a part of healing and whatnot in life?
I think it was because music was another language. It didn't have a particular, it didn't belong to just one type of person. It was to everybody. So, I can't sing. So don't ask, don't ever look to expect any kind of singing from me because you will run for the hills. However, I knew that I had a powerful voice. So public speaking, and then getting into from guitar at 7, which was my first Kiss guitar, going into clarinet and being on concert band all the way up into 9th grade where I was in the marching band and went on up through there. So I was always playing instruments and was self-taught in the bass clarinet and the saxophone and the piano. And I had my friends who taught me the drums and other instruments. So I also know how to read music. And so just diving in more into when going through a depression and understanding the sofrigo frequencies and how the body reacts to certain tones, then it's up to me to utilize that. So I know if it goes to a certain hertz, then I don't need to deal with it because my mindset is going to take me down further. So I thought that that was quite interesting that I'm continuously listening to myself a lot when it tries to pull me back down, because you got a whole life that is waiting for you. It's just waiting for you. And we don't have a lot of time. So we want to make the best of it. So that music was, like I said, that language. And then me being a spoken word artist, And I forget what the guy's name is that produced my first album for me, and my second and my third, and 7 of my tracks. I can't remember his name. It's something wicked. I can't blows or blow. I can't remember. You know what I mean? Like I just don't know. But anyway, though, thank you, Wicked Low. It has taken me on as an artist and being the only one in spoken word, and so it's given me more power and more drive to not only do that, but also let it go back into the pen, we say, to paper, and do my writing, do what I do best, and stick in my in my lanes, and don't do hip hop because that man is a lyrical slayer. I'm just telling you. Hey, Mo Torres, I'm just so excited to see you. Hi. Okay, I'm done.
SGF Graham, same question to you. In dark moments and hard times, what makes music come so naturally to you? And welcome.
Peace. I would say just because I've been around music all my life. Like, I share my family background with you, so I've always been around music, and I've always watched people from my mom or whatever. Whenever they're going through something, they might not tell me, but I can always tell through what they're listening to. Like maybe I need to leave mama alone right now. She going through something. Maybe I need to leave this person alone. Well, so that's when I realized like music can put you in a feeling or um
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I thought that was more than just a pause.
Yeah.
You were going SGF. Damn it, I was liking it. I liked everyone's response.
So for me, when I was little, my dad used to do little mantras and jingles and stuff like that. And he'd make up his own little things, and then he passed it on to my son, and then I passed that on to my grandbabies. I got a bunch of little jingles that Moon Tortoise and I are gonna get out there that are for the kids and whatnot. And then I started doing the spoken words, and I've always been a good writer. And I didn't think that my voice mattered. I didn't think really what I had to say mattered until I started the podcast and people told me that my voice was powerful and that I did matter. And I had to learn. When I was younger, my mom would put me in timeout a lot, and she always would duct tape my mouth because I would always be singing crying over you, and I would just constantly sing. And then my uncle would come in the house, and he was a DJ, and he would get me going more, and because he'd start singing because I'd start singing, and it was just a big old thing. But yeah, I sang a lot my whole entire life. I was in the choir at school, and music was my way to escape my life because my life was rough. So when I was in the closet in the dark and being beat and stuff, music was my way of feeling better about the rough things that I went through. And I found that to be more often. Now I do humming a lot, and music is my way of saying things. And I'm getting better at just being able to speak my words and put them into paper, onto paper, and allowing others to hear, because I always wrote and never shared. And now I'm getting more comfortable with sharing because I have a talent. I just didn't love me to know that it existed. SJF Graham, you want to finish your story?
I don't see him.
He's here. Oh, I have to enter him. Hold on. There you go. My bad.
I said what I had to say. I just didn't hear nothing else afterwards because somebody had called and I couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, okay. Because we thought you were in the middle of a sentence, but maybe not.
Nah, you know how the way I be ending.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, hey, Wicked Low, you and SGF Graham need to do a track for real, for real. You guys already talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I definitely and I've been meaning to hit you up too, bro. I haven't forgotten. Just dealing with a few things, a few things.
Thanks.
Oh, it's all good. We all going through something. I got to get my computer situation back in order.
So though,
So, this is where I was going to skip to, but I didn't want to skip ahead too much. So, Wicked Low, ironically, that you started off when horrorcore. I didn't know really what that was. I knew of it, but I didn't know that was the title of it until you explained to me. So, living close to anime. What do you say?
anime.
Where, where
You
you
said living
live?
close to what?
Where you
Oh,
live?
Amityville. Amityville.
Amityville. So living close to Amityville and then starting off doing horrorcore. What a coincidence, eh?
Yeah, no, I would not living close to Amityville. We lived in Amityville. We lived in the building. Yeah.
Shit.
Lived in it.
In Amityville, on Long Island, in New York.
So
Yes, I
I
did.
would also. Oh, I
Huh?
wasn't sure if you were talking. I was going to ask you what got you into horrorcore specifically, and if that was the first introduction to rap you had.
Oh no, no, no. My first introduction is like my brother was old. So my family, my actual first introduction to rap, because everybody, my family was either listening to. My father was he listened to pretty much like soul music. His favorite band was Earth, Wind and Fire. Um, my
I
mother's
didn't know
side
they
of the family, that
were.
was huh?
I didn't know they were horrorcore. I am very sorry. That was
No,
a
no, 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 no,
stupid
no, no,
one.
no, no, no. It's not horrorcore. No, what happened? I'm just breaking it down real quick. So
Right.
my first actual introduction, as far as hip hop goes, was like Run DMC, Fat Boys, Chubb Rock, um, figures like that. So Third Base, all of them. So that was actually my first introduction to hip hop. EPMD, you know what I mean? Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
So that was actually my first introduction. Now when horrorcore, like back then, from like 6, 7 up, whatever, I was just rapping. You know what I'm saying? Um, I had kind of a twisted sense of mind because of what I've been going through, and
Right.
I like horror movies. I like scary movies. So and then me being a huge fan of RZA, and he had Gravediggers, it just matched. You know what I'm saying? I was like, screw it, like eating your brain like Skittles and shit like that, Reese's Pieces, and you know what I'm saying? So that was
Yeah.
my thing, you know what I'm saying? So I listened to like, Gravediggers. I think Gravediggers as far as it was Gravediggers, Flatliners. I did what else? It was Gravediggers, Flatliners. Brother Lynch Hung. So artists like that. Those are my yeah. As
So
far as
what got
horror.
you into liking that? And what made you step away from it?
As of recently, I kind of so growing up, I kind of had this thing where I had different names because I didn't know how to deal with whatever I was dealing with, and I didn't know what it was at the time. And the only way I can explain that is to explain the beginning part, which was like I had different names in like Hellraiser, Infinite Skills, Lord of Sane, whatever, and each name like Hellraiser would be the side of me that's super dark, depressed, angry. That would be that side, and then the other shit would just rapping is just the Aaron is just what I mean, just that side. Just I'll rap about whatever. Um, so I kind of was always in and out, but as of recently, I would say I didn't want to talk about certain things like that because even though it was horrorcore the way I personally did it, it was like my type of horrorcore was pretty much getting at rapists and molesters and crooked people, like just the worst things you could think of to do to a person, but to those specific people, not just to anybody. Um, that was what I had ended up doing. So what I decided to do was I talked to my partner Israel Music, and I talked to him about it. And I was like, bro, let's make horror into real life horror. Let's talk about the things that some people don't talk about. It's taught that how you know what I mean, like instead of, like I had a friend that was that things happened and was like we're going to talk about things like that, and
Hmm.
things that some people don't really talk about, especially today. Like today, people don't really talk about that side of life. You know what I'm saying? Where you're a child. Like for example, I did a song about when I was 14, I was arrested by police for the first time, and the way they handcuffed me was they cut into both of my wrists, so both I still got the scars. So like let's talk about shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me, my mother, and my father went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. That's to me that's the darkest you can get. Like uh, shit, seeing a dead body on the street at 5 years old in Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. So um, I decided to make it like that to where people that are really going through it, depression, that's horror because you think about it, you don't know when you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what you're capable of. You know you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? You know all the feelings you feel that you want to get away from that you don't want to deal with, but you're dealing, but you're trying. You don't have a choice. That's to me. That's the dark side of life that a lot of people don't talk about no more. So I decided to do it. To do that to bring that to light.
I like how you said that, Wicked, how depression is horror. It absolutely
Yeah.
is. There's certain things like there's a film called The Babadook, which is an Australian horror film. This monster that they let in their house, and it attacks a family who just lost another family member. And it's this
Mhm.
monster movie, but it's really a film about the horror of grief and how it rips families apart. And if you look at it
Absolutely.
through that lens, it becomes even scarier. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's pretty much why I decided to do it that way because I love music, but I'm not gonna, how they say, feed the people, help feed the people electric Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Like, so I'd rather do it that way. So people, number one, don't feel alone when they're going through things. Because I didn't have that. I didn't even know. When I was young, my father took me to therapy and he said that there's something wrong with your son, but there's nothing that we can do about it. You understand? So all I had was me, myself, and I. I ain't tell nobody about nothing. When I was feeling suicidal, I rapped about it, didn't tell nobody, didn't tell my mother, my father. When I tried it, didn't tell nobody, kept it to myself. Um, my whole life. You know what I mean? As of recently, like that's when I started talking about it. But I I wanted people to understand like they're not alone because I know how I felt and it wasn't cool. It was just you're just alone. It
So I
ain't
have a
cool. So
question. How do you balance sharing your pain with also leaving behind a message of transformation?
I share it these days because again, how do I manage it? You said how do I manage sharing my pain and what?
How do you balance sharing your
Oh, how do
pain
I
with also leaving a message behind of transformation?
because it's all in the same. You know what I mean? And in order to grow, you have to go through something. You have to go through, some you see you everybody knows somebody who's never changed, who ain't never seen a day of life or nothing. You know what I mean? Who don't know nothing about nothing. They just the same. Everybody knows somebody. But then you have your certain people that go through hell on earth and still come out swinging. You know what I'm saying? And then you sit down and talk to them, they have some of the. So for my time on this earth, it's like, you know, I'm thankful that I did go through all my hardships. I'm thankful. I love it because the simple fact I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't have done the things that I've done or, helped the people that I help, when they come to me for whatever is going on. So to me it's all in the same. In order to grow, to really grow, you some people don't have to. I mean, some people just do what they do. I'm no slight on that, but I think that when we go through something so traumatic or so detrimental that it makes you this kind of person whether if it's better, prayerfully. Um, I think that's for me particularly. It's all in the same. That's how I manage. It's all in the same. This is what I've been through. This is what I'm doing now. I learned how to kind of deal with certain things through hitting the gym, doing burpees, doing music, which releases, positive endorphins, so that kind of knocks out some of it. Um, I lived through it, so that's the message, that I've been there. You know what I mean? So I can, when people come to me and tell me, yo, I lost my mom, I don't know what I'm doing, they look like they're about to lose their shit. We can sit down and have a conversation. My brother, my sister, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. You know what I mean? My father didn't die regular. A chick overdosed him with some cancer medicine that he wasn't supposed to have. You know what I mean? So I get it. And these are the people that I've talked to, all my life. Even when I'm going through hell, I still talk to people like, hey, what you going through? Go ahead and let it off your shoulders. So to me, it's, sorry for the long thing, but it's all in the same to me.
So
You know
no,
what I mean?
no, that's fine. You actually went and answered the next couple questions, and which is great for me. Since I've got to know you and lately got closer to know you, I'm proud of how humble you are, and how do you not feel like the world owes you, or that and this isn't for me because I you and I are the same. We mirror each other so much, we're similar. But there is people out here that are dealing with a lot, and they feel like they are cheated, and they feel like the world owes them something, or that they have to get some kind of revenge, or some kind of gratitude, feel some kind of, like, I don't know what it's called. Rep- Replications. What's it called? Feels,
Reparations?
yeah,
Reparation
yeah. Some people feel like
or
they have to get
vindication. You
both.
you combine the two, but they're
Yeah,
both
they're the.
good. I like them, but go on.
But how do you, Wicked Low? How do you live without feeling like you have to have that? I know how I do, but I'm asking you.
Um, I was taught, what's the word I'm looking for? I was taught, what's the damn it? I hate old age. No, pretty much, I was taught to take accountability at a very young age through
Okay.
what I've been going through while I was going through things. I was taught, I understood what taking accountability for. So nobody, I've never felt like, because I don't feel like that's right. I don't feel like the world owes me nothing. I never felt like my parents owed me nothing. The people who did me dirty, I'm like, okay, you got one off. I bet. You don't owe me nothing. Nobody owes me nothing. And that's how I've always felt. And then and with me, studying as far as the 5% nation goes, equality, one of the lessons in there. You know what I'm saying? With that also helps humble my soul. And I was kind of in and out of that growing up as well. So there's a few things. And in the way my parents were, the way my family was, I've never really heard them say you owe me anything, aside when dealing with, whether it's a money situation, whatever. But the way my grandparents were, I didn't really hear that growing up. So for me, going through what I've been through is just, that's not important to me. That's not important at all.
There's another amazing artist right there, Samaj Lee. Everybody go listen to Samaj Lee music. Such a beautiful, talented soul right there. Beautiful, talented soul. So,
Smooth.
if anybody's listening right now and they're battling with depression and they're walking with the friendship of the darkness, like you once did, what message would you want to give them right now?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Uh, the message that I would give people is that try to understand, even though life is pretty much is hard to understand life. Um, but it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. And if you look deep inside yourself, you're strong enough to come out of, no matter how much you may think you can't do something, you actually can do it. You have to sit within yourself and understand yourself and understand the strength that you have. I didn't really understand it, but I figured it out. And I feel like if I figured it out, I know I've helped people figure it out because hey, sometimes people need somebody to talk to, and that's understandable. And that's as long as you get through what you got to get through. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Even though a lot of times we don't see it, it's there. We just have to keep building, doing our best to stay positive, even when it's hard. Doing our best to get out, go work, or do something, even when it's hard. Do something for ourselves, even when it's hard. Do your best every day, and that is a step towards healing. And healing takes time. And everybody, we don't want to heal, but everything takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. So just keep moving and grooving, and you're gonna get there.
And
Just don't give up.
there's another dope artist right there, LaRon Johnson. That's ID Cipher. ID Cipher Henry. Dope artist, huh?
Wonderful guy. Good to see you,
One,
Laurent.
good to see you, ID Cipher.
Great artist. I've had the pleasure of performing alongside him and seeing him, and I love that
Yeah,
guy. We love that guy.
love it. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, Moon Tortoise. If someone's listening right now, battling depression, walking with the friendship of darkness, like you once did, what can you tell them? What message do you want to leave with them right now?
I promise you, anyone you might be too young to know this. Some people, but there's a scene in Indiana Jones where he's in this truck and he's fighting this Nazi. He's trying to get control of the truck, and they're fist fighting, and the Nazi like knocks him out of the truck, and he falls under the truck, and he ends up whipping. He's throwing his whip at the end, and he's getting dragged behind the truck, and he's like rolling around in the rocks. He actually did it, and getting stuck in his skin, and he ends up fighting his way back up underneath the truck, and like climbing in and beating the Nazi up and throwing the guy out of the truck. And that has felt like every day for the last 2 weeks for me. That being said, I'm sitting here on my podcast talking to you guys, doing a damn good job pretending like my everything in my life isn't completely on fire and I'm breathing the smoke in because I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And I'm trying to prioritize the things that are important to me as a person, not to anybody else. So, I mean, if you're walking through the darkness right now and you're suffering through a lot of stuff, it is 100% possible to let go of their hand and just try to exist in the moment and let the air move around you if you have to. It's okay to dissociate a little bit, just give yourself grace, like I said earlier, because depression's a killer. A lot of these psychological problems are a killer, and I don't think society is geared to make you feel better about them. You gotta be resilient and stalwart with yourself.
SGF Graham, if somebody is listening and is battling depression or walking with the friendship of darkness, what message would you like to give to them right now?
Um, don't be scared to deal with it, no matter what anybody has to say, and deal with it today. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. I mean, soon as tomorrow's here, once again, it's today. So deal with it. Don't worry about how nobody feel, because at the end of the day, you're in your own race. It's your finish line. You have to cross it one way or the other. So that's what I have for them.
So My message with anybody who's living in the darkness right now, and then I'm going to get to Gills. My message is we signed up for this. As shitty as it sounds, we did, because there's a lesson we must learn here. And we chose this shit because nobody else could walk in it like you could. So stand tall and learn that lesson you're supposed to learn and free yourself from yourself, because you're a gift and you have a purpose. You just got to be able to not let that friendship become you. Disassociate from it, whatever you have to do. Gills. So if someone is listening right now battling with depression, what message would you want to leave with them right now?
You can't control the things that happen to you a lot of times, and you can't control what other people do, how they're going to treat you, or how they feel about you. But you can find people who understand. You can find meaningful relationships even in there, and you can find reasons to keep going, because it can't
Can you
always be that way.
read this, babe?
While living amongst your divine purpose, you eventually come to the conclusion that things aren't happening to you, it's happening around you. Often we take the happening as a personal attack.
Last one.
It's often a common misconception.
Period. Thank you, Heidi. I'm so glad you jumped on to said that. That is so true. So true. So when people say the name Wiccid Lo years from now, what do you want that to stand for?
That you can win any battle, that you can go through what you go through and still come out on top. And at the same time, when we go through things, life is still beautiful, and we can still, we can make our hell heaven at the end of the day. Um, it takes some time, but we can do it.
I love you so much, and I'm honored that I got to know you, and I appreciate everything about you. It's been a joy getting to know you. It's been a joy.
Appreciate
So
it.
we're gonna leave positive message with everybody, and then I'll end up closing it out. So, what is a positive message? Give me a positive message, not just what you want to leave a mark of your name, but what is a positive message, real quick?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Hands up like we in school. No, a positive message of saying keep moving and grooving. Today's mathematics is power refinement. You know what I'm saying? Refine yourself, refine your power. You all have it. You know what I'm saying? Do your best to live in positive, speak positive, even when you don't feel positive. When we put that out there in the earth, when we put that energy out there to the universe, it comes back tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can use some positivity in their life, especially with everything going on. Love yourself, give yourself grace, and do your best to live righteous.
SGF Graham, positive message. And I like to ask you a question. What do you want your name to be? What mark do you want with your name, SGF Graham?
What you mean? What Mark?
Years from now, and they say SGF Graham. What do you want it to go with that?
The truth, the shit. Why the hell we ain't hear about him earlier? Um, we got to start listening to South Carolina a little bit more. Just simple, humble stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, I feel like that's the least. That's the least I can get. Um, but my my positive. That's gonna be my positive. Set your lease, make your lease your highest.
Yeah.
Set your standards higher than, or your goals higher than anyone think you can achieve, and see where you land.
Moon tortoise, my SUN. My SUN. What is your positive message?
A positive message.
What name do you
Well,
want? Name do you want? Henry Shul, aka Moon Tortoise, aka Amy, aka Henry Shul Show, aka everything. What name do you want? What message or what do you want your name to leave behind?
that motherfucker will cause a lot of trouble to make things better for everybody.
Oh,
And a positive message, you know, it's if you feel like you're not living up to par, or you're worthless or falling apart, or not worth anything, you gotta remember that you are both lucky and unlucky enough to be born with the gift and curse of sentience. That alone has bestowed the rule of traveler upon you. And in your time you live on this planet, you're able to put all these cool memories and thoughts and musings and music and poetry together to validate and show that experience to us and maybe any other aliens that come into contact with us. And that's so important. And being the traveler, at the very least, at the end of your days on your deathbed, you could sit there and tell somebody about everything you experienced through your own eyes, and it would be worth every second of it. It's good knowledge.
Gills. It is good knowledge. Gills, my babe. What do you want? What do you want your name? What message you want your name to hold weight years from now? And what is a positive message?
I don't know. I like SGF Graham's The Truth. Because I think the truth is enough a lot of
Yeah.
times. And I like Henry's causing all kinds of fucking trouble to make things better. And that I brought some love into some dark places. And I hope that when I'm with people, they feel safe to be who they are, regardless of how other people might judge them. To know that everybody is worthy of being loved and understood, and everybody is worthy of being able to be who they are. So, and I'd love to be a peacemaker. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Famous for doing something cool. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But no. And that she was a mom.
Oh.
I'd be okay with just that.
So my name. I want my name. Well, I already
I
know.
I didn't do a positive message.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Ah.
I had it too. I had it.
My bad.
Then you hit me with the name. Then you hit me with the legacy thing. Anyway, tread peacefully, dance and play often, and carry a tent spike.
There you go. Mine is she's a gatherer that did not let this world harden her heart. That's what mine is. And the positive message is separate yourself from anything that's holding you back, because remember, at the end of the day, we have to grow and you have to fulfill that purpose. And you're not alone, and you're loved authentically. Just be authentic to whoever you are, whatever it may be. If you're an asshole, be an authentic asshole. If you're an amazing person, be an authentic amazing person. Stay authentic to yourself and do it with authenticity. I'm telling you, it's the highest frequency, and that's any currency in the whole world. That's higher than any. I thank everyone for coming on and tuning into the People's Podcast with the ears that will listen, where your opinion matters. Today, Wiccid Lo reminds us that even when darkness feels like the only friend you have, transformation is possible. Through pain, through struggle, and through the truth, we can rise higher. Don't forget to check out Shimmer Wood Beverages and take that 30% code that we give you, the people, and use it. Until next time, keep listening, keep sharing, and remember, your voices matter, and so does your opinion. Peace and love, everyone.
Peace, peace. Get at me, Wicked.
Get at me, Wicked.
Gotcha.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. What I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yup, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up, execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal, breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe, so down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Sneering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.